Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to TRS Live, the podcast. We're back in here. We got Justin Munt, J Munt. What's up, J Munt?
Yeah, good morning, y'all.
Nick Schneidy went. Schneidy's in his house.
Yeah.
He's on time as always.
Always ready to go.
We're in here. We took a little break last week. MPFL, right?
MPFL, yeah.
Yep. Now we're in here
pause
today.
for the cause, right?
What's going on in the storefront, guys? What's going on?
Just shipments. We're getting a lot of product in daily. We got our big Bass Mafia order showed up.
Ooh, is that
Courtesy
good?
of,
Is that good stuff?
Kyle Carpenter. Oh yeah, their boxes are pretty legit. Built really well. Some, I don't know, the bait specific type holding systems. So
Yep.
And they're built extremely durable. I think I saw a video where a guy was driving his truck over one.
Yeah.
You seen that one?
I did not.
Okay.
I
That's
do
pretty
know the
cool.
guy who runs their social media, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, great brand. And we also had 3 pallets of Plano show up too. So
So what's all included in the Plano?
it's just all your storage,
All hard
big
boxes?
storage, small storage, umbrella rig storage, bags, box, everything you could think of. So
I found out yesterday just how important proper tackle storage really is. Like, it is a pain in the butt. Like, if you don't own a boat or you're that guy, right, and you have to go, somebody invites you out, like sorting your tackle, finding the right
what do you bring? How much do you bring? How do you carry it?
It is, I think, one of the most overlooked things that somebody could do. I know I do. Like,
I've been doing it for 4 years of the co-angler. It's tough.
it is tough, right?
Here's a prime example. Nick fishes a lot of coes. He just fished one, rocked it. But what do you? Obviously, your tackle collection is based on what you think the bite is going to be. But then how do you carry it? What do you run a bag system? You just run.
Yeah, so I run either 2 to 3 3700s in my bag.
Are you mic'd on? Did your mic get turned on? Let's see.
Let's check it.
Yep. So it looks like the IT is it
There we go.
IT?
Is the producer?
Check.
No.
Production staff was a little behind today too. Go
You
ahead.
got him now, Android?
There we go.
We're good to go?
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go. So yeah,
Okay.
I have my separate bag. It's a 3700 Plano bag. It holds like 4 boxes of 3700s, but I carry what I do is I do either 2 or 3 3700s. One's my jig box. So you can fish jigs 365 days a year. Jigs work no matter what. And I got a quarter of it blade baits, a quarter of it swim jigs, and then another quarter for footballs and flipping jigs.
Nice.
So, and I carry, I don't know, about 20 of each. And depending on the color of the season, then I
Swap out depending.
Yeah, depending on the season.
I'm getting asked, are you doing any giveaways today?
Who's asking you that?
The
world.
powers to be.
The world, your fans are asking.
I didn't hear it.
Giveaway.
I don't know. As soon as a fan asks about a giveaway, we'll have that conversation.
All
Andy,
right. So, and just based off of what the bite is, the color, all that kind of stuff, you just kind of cater to what the.
Yep. So my basement is a disaster right now. I have baits, plastic spread out through a 12 by 12 section, and I have a whole dresser that is just for me with my tackle storage and more stuff that's in there. So I just pull out drawers as I have to.
Nice.
Fill in, and then I'm constantly swapping out. But the Plano order got in, so I'm going to be a little bit more organized. I got some boxes to pick up here in the next couple of days, so I can organize
you and me
those up.
both. I'm bringing home
Go
a
ahead.
pile today.
But
It is. I mean, the there's a lot of expensive tackle, and if you tournament fish, or even if you're just a weekend warrior, like you want to take care of your gear, your jigs, like your plastic.
Yep.
You don't want to just throw it all in a bin. Stuff starts deteriorating, rusting.
Yeah.
Then you're not organized, so then you can't fish efficiently. All that stuff. So it's very important.
What are some things that we carry that's good for your plastics? Like, what's our best plastic organizational?
We could probably do a whole show and have multiple opinions on that subject.
right.
That was one I would like to hear more about and like see some of those products too, because like, gosh, like Nick's saying, like plastics never end. Every day you're out there, you like, oh, this one looks pretty good. I should probably add that to my arsenal. And
Yep.
it's like, where do you go with all of them?
Yeah, as a co-angler, I mean, I on the front of my bag and the back of my bag, I have on the front of the bag I keep Senkos, Ned rig tubes, and then on the back of the bag, I do flipping plastics on the back.
Are you talking like a backpack bag or?
No, just like a regular tackle
bag.
duffel bag.
Okay.
So it's nice.
Yeah.
And then I shove my pockets of the plastics I know I'm going to use that day
So they're accessible.
in my bibs.
Easily accessible. How do you know what to bring based off of, because you're a coal, right? You're not out there. Are you pre-fishing with some of these guys, or when do you find out who you're fishing with?
So a couple of weeks before the tournament, you get drawn, your angler. So you just message your boater that what you're going to do, what's the game plan.
Okay.
And then you kind of go off of that.
Go off of what they're at. Where was your last event that you partook in?
That was in Fremont
How'd you
on the
do?
Wolf River. I
What?
had the biggest
New
bag.
word? I hate to cut you off.
Partook? You might have made that one up.
Particking.
Partaking.
Oh, we're having
Particking.
fun on a Friday.
Yeah, I had
Daryl said
Go ahead,
giveaway. LOL.
Well, I can't see. Hey, where's the stream, Andy? I can't see
Right there on
anything.
the right. Look with your eyes.
Oh, there it is. Oh my! I got to use my good eye.
giveaway.
Yep. Hey, good morning, Daryl.
So you said you partook and you got a what?
I had the biggest bag of the tournament
Nice.
Partaking.
Nice job.
out of the back of the boat.
Well, how big was big?
So I had 1591, almost 16 pounds.
Wow. Largie, smallies?
All smallmouth.
All smallies,
The
really?
game plan was largemouth.
Really?
Yep, until I convinced Kyle into checking one smallie spot, and then we decided to stay there. And then we fed off of that, and then went to one other spot that was very similar, and caught him there too.
Nice.
So we just went to 2 spots all day.
I think this guy's ready for his own boat. Start running this turn he's seen.
Should
Get out there and crush
Hey.
it.
Sponsors, I need.
every fisherman.
I need sponsors.
You and about a billion other people in the world.
I can't afford a boat right
I
now.
know.
so
I've been in the
ridiculous.
same boat. You are.
It's tough to get along in Biden's economy. Whoop!
Yeah.
Went there.
Oh,
Yeah.
fired it up.
Yeah.
So that is our topic today, right? Spring bass and
Spring bass and
ooh, what do
bass.
we all have? And let's start breaking it down. What are the conditions like right now for bass? Are we pre-spawn?
we are pre-spawn. Yeah, for sure. They're putting on the feed bag. With warming temps, they're gonna start getting in real shallow and start spawning here. And then the next couple of weeks, I know they got excited during that warm up, and they were really in tight, and there was wolf packs of a ton of them just cruising the shallows. So they were getting excited, but now we had the cold front come in, and they slowed down, and now we got some nice days coming. And it's been
Nice days coming, and we're in it. And I think the next 2 days, when
yeah.
we get an opportunity to fish 44 and rain. Yay! Daryl, what do you want to give away? What kind of bass plastic do you want?
Yeah.
Not that you're going to get it, but I mean, maybe if you pick one, it'll help motivate us.
So while we had that 80-degree temps, what were water temperatures like when we had like those 70 to 80 degrees? What did we have, like a week? Was it a week straight we got
Pretty
blessed
sure
with that?
some of the shallows hit 64, 65.
Oh, really? So that's like spawning temps.
Yeah, so they got really excited. I saw I heard of some guys like on Shawano, they were making bad. And I don't know, they had to have pulled off by now because the water dropped like 20 degrees.
What are they doing? Like they're in the mode, like they're like, I'm ready to do stuff.
What do you?
And then it gets, well, if it warm or cold, I'm finishing the job. Do the bass finish the job too?
I think it's like people, like if all of a sudden it's not going to happen, you just go to the deep cold water. It's like go and take a cold shower,
So they get blue fins?
blue fins, chill out, and then just wait because it's going to happen. It will happen.
It will happen eventually.
Yep.
But they don't just like dump eggs and go, right?
No, I don't. That might have to be a question for a biologist. Like I've heard, sometimes walleyes will absorb, or different species will absorb their eggs if they can't spawn or conditions aren't right. Obviously, it's not good for the fisheries, but it does happen. And I don't know what all type of conditions would cause that stress. Maybe temperature swings like we had, but I don't think this was a big deal because I think those fish weren't real shallow to begin with.
They weren't even ready.
By the time they got up and got into position, we were back down on that cold slide. So I think they probably just either sit down and went tight-lipped, or they slid back to where they came.
And that's kind of what Daryl's saying on Fixed TV. He said the warm-up really confused the fish, and they pulled way back. So they just went to
Yep.
Like more of their staging areas then?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of outside the
And then the emerald shiners started to bloom, so I'm pretty sure they were feeding on the emerald side.
Yeah, because we don't have, like, Bago is the only body of water really for the most part that has shad, right? Most of the inland lakes around here in the Wisconsin don't have a lot of shad in them.
Not a lot.
I think it's a big res type of deal.
Yeah, southern stuff.
The Bay's got a shad population.
Because like when we were down in Texarkana for the MPFL, they were saying like there was still some shad. They'd push up in the mornings, the bite would be good, and then they would go out, and then the fishing was tough down there. It was really, really tough. Some of those guys were seeing some fish on beds. Then they had a big rain push through. But it was crazy how far, like, they were throwing frogs. Majority of the guys were frogging in, like, super tight conditions.
What I would kill to be frogging right now.
Oh, I know. I was so shocked,
happen.
like, to hear, like, the frog was the juice that early in the season. And with the spawn all over the place, too. You know, post-spawn, pre-spawn, spawning, you know. Some
think about how early in the season you hear frogs at night. So, like, give that some thought. So if they're out, they're food. And if you're food, something's going to prey on you.
Something's going to want you.
So
Joseph on Facebook really liked my bluefins.
we
should. Is that a sticker? Do you want to have Megan make up a sticker with that one?
I don't know. How would we need more
we got to get creative with that one. I think that would be pretty fun.
If the temps aren't right.
Blue. It's something we'll get to work on that one.
Wisconsin weather.
Get
you bluefins.
You got bluefins? Wait 5 minutes. It'll change.
So we're in pre-spawn mode. What are you doing? Where are you looking and what are you throwing?
Well, I'm looking shallow.
Okay. For largies?
For anything, smallmouth, largemouth.
What's your favorite? Green or brown? Great question.
Green's money, baby.
Everybody's got to have a favorite.
Smallmouth are my favorite.
Smallmouth?
Yeah, they fight the hardest. No questions
Dude,
asked.
Smallmouth they're tricky to catch. Like you're a whole nother animal if a smallmouth are your fish to go to.
It just, I don't know. The smallmouth and the walleye stuff is kind of hand in hand.
Similar.
Technique, not technique wise, but tackle wise.
Right.
Using a lot of the same gear.
Yeah. Yep. So besides like the bay and the river systems, where else are you finding smallmouth this time of year? Like what bodies of water? There's not a lot of inlands that have a good population of.
No, a lot of rock points and stuff like that will have fish. Wind-driven stuff. Everything where the bait is being pushed, that's where you're going to be right now.
Okay.
Because they're putting on the feed bag before they spawn.
Nice. Are you looking more like warmer water too this time of year for that?
Yeah, as warm as you can find on the rock, warming them up.
Not wood, just rocks?
Yeah,
wood
mostly.
Too. I mean, wood holds temp.
Right.
And that's like smallmouth or rockfish, right? I mean, that's kind of what the thing is you find smallmouth around the rocks, and usually you find the largies around the wood.
Right.
It's like that old Northland fishing tackle song.
The water's been so high and fast in the river. If you're in the river, just find the black seam.
Yep.
Because that's where you're going to be resting. That's where I found them on Sunday.
I was going to ask you, how long, like, is the whole river in slow no wake right now?
Yes. 500-foot rule to a permanent building.
Okay, so you can open it up a little bit. I mean, now there's not a lot of stretches where...
No, like Orahulu to the mouth is pretty much the only roundability.
So you fished... Was that Saturday, right? Sunday. Is that chunk of cane still stuck in there? Or?
Yeah, I think it was.
How did you guys get around?
We didn't go down there.
Wasn't everybody launching?
Fremont.
Oh.
The bog was by the mouth.
So I know. That's why I thought I get confused because I don't follow these all that tight. I thought a lot of guys, like the tournament, everybody launched out of Winneconne or something.
No, that was a different tournament.
Okay. So was this a launch wherever you want tournament, or was this actually...
No, in Fremont.
In Fremont.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, our club was launched out of Fremont.
Okay.
So now people fishing the ACs are this weekend, I think, right?
Yep.
There's the North and the Southern Division are both on the same body of water. They have to launch on Bago.
I think they were out of Winneconne.
Or Winneconne. I'm sorry. Yeah, Winneconne.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a player though.
I thought it just blew out within the last couple days.
Did it?
I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows anything about that, but I didn't go down there, so I wouldn't know 100%. But I heard some rumors that did blow out.
I was on the river yesterday, and the idle time is absolutely just
crazy.
it sucks.
It's bad.
Anybody that's going to make that trip to the river, you better give yourself a lot of extra time.
Yeah, going upriver is insane, especially with all that water coming down. It's bad.
Yep.
Daryl, I'll take that Tota plastics. Well, hey, we can disperse it to. Got a lot of high school teams in here that could use a little.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Something.
I like that.
And as a reminder, we do buy used tackle too. Now we don't try to buy a ton of plastics just because they don't hold their value. Like nobody wants a 10-pack with 2 left in it kind of thing. But yeah, absolutely, we donate them to young kids. They love it. High school kids. So yeah, there's the thing.
Yeah, but back to it is still on. The wake is still, the slow no wake is still there.
Yep, it's coming down a little, but we're going to get more rain, so.
Yeah, and that's what you guys got all weekend, too, is like beautiful days all week. Doesn't that suck?
That is.
Beautiful days all week, and then the weekend just hits, and it's crap.
Like the story of last spring, too. I think the first 3 tournaments I fished last year was 30, 35 degrees, raining and snowing, and wind. It was.
Now, are you fishing this weekend as well?
I'm not. I don't have a AC partner this year for Sunday. If anybody wants to get in, just let me know.
Okay, so like with the conditions, so we got nice weather today, crap weather this weekend. So say your game plan was working today, and then you have the crap weather. Are you changing strategy going into nasty weather this weekend?
Not really. Smallmouth on the river don't change as much as largemouth, obviously.
Okay.
So that's why I really wanted to target smallmouth on Sunday, because it was crappy out and I knew those largemouth wouldn't play as nice, even though the largemouth was the biggest fish of the tournament. But there was only like 3-4 largemouth brought in.
Yep. So let's go through some of your springtime bass goodies here. Let's just pick something up. I'll show it to the camera. You can show it to the camera, and let's hear the bass and good stuff here.
All right. So what they keyed on Sunday for me was a jerkbait. I was just hanging it in the slack water, twitching it slow, like every 6 to 8 seconds, working it super slow because it was a cold day. Cold front just moved through. What I like is bright colors in the spring. It just ticks them off. So yeah, chartreuses, oranges, and that's what I was throwing. I was throwing an orange 110. It was a one-off. They did a couple years ago, and now I'm going to have some more replicated because I only have one of them. But this is very similar. I was using the Junior Megabass Junior. It's a smaller profile bait, so small.
Here, I'll hold that up while you're continually talking here.
I might have one of those orange ones for sale. I think I do have one.
Yeah,
so
there was like 6 in the store, and I think
Junior
half
here,
of them
Andy.
went
Let
to
me
the
know when you're ready.
Yeah, I bought 2 of them.
Yep.
But yeah. This is kind of the color. A lot of the oranges work really good in springtime. It just pisses them off.
So
did you throw anything other than a Vision? Did you catch anything on the Stunna?
I did not. I didn't even throw it.
Yep. So you can pass them here, and then I'll hold them up and I'll show them to that camera. Andy's working on getting everything focused up here. Those cameras are a little finicky.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah.
But yeah, jerkbaits are a really good player. I like throwing my jerkbaits and cranks on 12-pound Assassin, super limp. It casts amazing.
Limp, huh? Why the limp?
Casts nicer.
Okay. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm trying to move and...
Why don't you bring your other hands?
Bring my other hands?
If you're on some rocky points, I like the liplesses and the tight wobble crankbaits. This is the newer OG Octofold series. Pretty slick in that red fire craw. That's a big player. And kind of the same kind of pattern in a lipless. This is a Spro half-ounce 65 Roku shad.
All right, so here's the jerkies are here. Yep. And why are these your go-to jerk baits here? The Berkeley and the Megabass. What makes those the?
I mean, I only throw Megabass now.
Well, that's why You're not saving for a boat because those crankbaits are $25 a piece.
Right, yeah. But knock on wood, I've been fishing them for 4
I'm
years
gonna hold
and
the
haven't
line up
lost
too.
one yet.
So I got a question for you, Nick.
The line then. That he
Well,
recommends.
Matt's doing his hand modeling over there.
Sure.
How do you tie direct to all your jerks? You run a snap?
Nope, I run a VMC snap. It gives the bait way more action, and then you can really change your baits. As a co-angler, you can't have 20 rods tied up with 20 different jerk baits. You got to be able to switch, and that VMC crank snap is phenomenal. It's got that wide snap to it, so it gives that bait freedom to do whatever it wants.
So pro tip to offset the weight of the snap, are you removing the split ring on the cranks? Or are you leaving those on?
You can, but no.
I've heard some guys, because apparently those Visions, and I have fished them rarely. I don't do a whole lot of bass in anymore.
Muskies don't eat those?
They do a hole, and then they got $25 gone. So yeah, we don't throw those in. They're a little small. But some guys say just because the Visions are so fine-tuned that if you're going to run a snap to remove the split ring, it just helps the bait perform a little bit. But you're saying it's insignificant. So people like to overanalyze. I just like to listen.
That's a good tip,
because it's something in your brain that may be useful at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, those snaps are so light
Yeah.
that it's almost lighter than the split ring themselves.
So then while I get this one up, so this is your lipless. Is the crawl your go-to this time of year?
Yeah,
you said
oranges and reds. Yep.
Seeing a pattern, bright.
Yep.
It's a little tough to set up.
What do you think it is about red in the spring? I've heard rumors. I'm just curious. It's just something I'm sure you've always fished.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea why?
They're throwing stuff. Isn't it working this morning?
Where's your? I told you should have brought your other hands.
What other hand, bro? Here, I'll do this. Go like this. Is that working? This sucker doesn't want to sit up. I'm gonna have to hold it, Andy. This doesn't want to sit up.
Put it right here. Set it right.
I want to go like this. Can you see it now? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
There, we'll just hold it right here. There you go.
You actually should get like a little bread clip, pinch clip, little
You
holder
think this
thing.
is your podcast? How come you didn't bring one in?
Well, because I'm renting the room.
Oh.
I expect the room to be fully staged and the production
There
team
you
to
go.
have everything
There's
set
your
for
bro.
us.
All right, so that's the one. Nick likes that one. Now, don't go too far, Andy, because I'm gonna bring up the other one here. This is the OG, the Tiny 4. That's what Nicky likes as well. That's I do like that. Is that more? You said that's a flat one.
Yep, it's a flat one, tighter wobble, more subtle.
So, Daryl's yelling. He's saying if we remove the split ring, it changes the balance and it wants the nose up.
So that was the red crawdad. Both of these were the red crawdad. Is that? I'm just making sure here. Yep. Cool. All right. Continuing.
Another
Good
big
stuff.
factor last year, they came out, I think it was a couple years ago or last year, but we got in the Mini Max chatterbait, and that is a smaller profile chatterbait. It has been crushing them. Just crushing
So
them. It's a tighter wobble, smaller profile, and for springtime, it just drives them nuts.
Just to confuse people, can you go through each style of Z-Man and then what other chatterbaits we carry? Because we have a huge assortment.
It is a monster.
It's too big.
We have
That
all
can be
the skirted ones. We don't have any of the unskirted, like Finesse's type stuff yet. But we have the Mini Max. They have the regular OG, the original. We have jackhammers. We have the big blades. We have the Freedoms on clearance because those haven't sold very well. And then we do have the Stealth Blade too, which is another pretty much the same thing, but it has a glass clear blade. It's just more subtle than the
And that's
Max.
just Z-Man. That's not Strike King.
No, that's
not Omega.
We have like 20 foot of blade bait.
Yeah.
It's insane.
is a blade bait the new spinner bait? Is that kind of that same?
Well, when's the last time
It's
you
close.
When's the last time you threw a spinnerbait?
Oh, I fished it exclusively last
Do you really?
year.
Okay.
Yeah. My newer tournament partner from last year, AC, got me hooked into the spinner baits of the War Eagles, and
Yep.
I threw it probably 75% of the time.
Just
last
goes
year.
back to all that tackle storage. Like
And that's
there's-
fun to fish too. I mean, spinner baits and chatterbaits are fun to fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have Daryl's been firing up our chat here. So if you remove that split ring, it will run nose up
Yeah,
and
it's
not
just-
dive correct.
Yeah, I said
So that's
that.
back to that
Few
jerk
minutes.
bait
Yeah. So
conversation.
that was why I asked Nick, because if you're saying if you remove weight, it runs nose up, but if you add weight, why doesn't it run nose down? So that's kind of what I was getting at. And that's when Nick stated that, you weigh that VMC split ring, you weigh the VMC crankbait snap versus the split ring, how much difference are there?
Right.
So, I mean, it does have weight.
Mm-hmm.
How significant is the change, though?
That's just something to play with, though.
And it's probably dependent all on the performance of the jerkbait, right? So if it's a $9 not tuned to money, it may make a difference, right?
And then
speaking of money, you won that. Can I borrow some cash? You won that tournament.
Co-anglers don't get anything.
What do you mean? You get no money out of that?
Almost nothing.
Just the pride in you get to go fishing?
Yeah, just the pride.
That's cool.
there's your red conversation too is in there as well.
Red? Iodine? What is it?
Red is because the sun gives it the bait the red tinge as they change from winter to summer colors. So that must be like the crawfishes.
I guess he's talking about craws.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me one time that iodine's important in the spawning process for egg development. So a lot of things that contain red have iodine in them. It's just a mineral, right?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I don't know how factual that is, but
Like straight minerals, so bass are like.
if we pretend this is the evening news, I don't think facts are important here. We just say whatever we want.
You should join the Jake Jacobs show. You'd be good on that
I
one.
love Jake. He's awesome.
But yeah, that's something. Like, do you fish really pay attention to minerals? So here, let's give me that. What was that Z-Man one here? Let's see if I can.
This is the Mini Max. The baby goat fits perfect on those smaller profile baits, and that kind of matches the exact color. Pretty a slick combination in the spring.
Yeah, we got a ton of trailers from Strike King to, I don't know, Kalen's to Yamamoto to Z-Man to Netbait. I don't know. Kyle's got so much stuff out there. It's unbelievable.
Do you prefer the Z-Man stuff over some of the other plastics we carry, or just depend?
It depends, yep. So if I'm on a moving bait pattern and they're not keying in on scent, I want something that's going to last, and that Z-Man lasts like 100 fish, no questions.
Is scent important in that situation too, or is it all just pure reaction, you think?
I think scent's a big factor in the spring. You're slowing your presentation down, and it gives them something to key in on.
Do you use any aftermarket scents, Nick?
Great
and
question.
are you willing to share? And if you're not,
you should.
I have
you
more
have to
questions.
sell it.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, on my hard baits, I am putting the lipstick old scent on the hard baits.
The old salt stuff?
Old, nice.
Yeah, that stuff's really popular.
Very popular.
Yep, great company, great owner, and it works, so that's cool.
Yep.
So
and on my hair, I'm using the spray too. So
it does look good this morning. Your hair looks nice.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was questioning
Does it
myself.
smell like
I almost
garlic?
Does it smell
What
like
did you
garlic
use?
or anise? Which one?
Anise.
Oh, anise. Ooh. Ooh.
No.
No, it's the Old Spice paste. It's pretty. It's ridiculous.
using
We're really talking about his hair products.
Old Spice for his hair, Old Salt
Yeah.
for his lures.
Right.
I mean,
Which is interesting because we found out from Mike that tobacco works for walleyes, and now we're finding out that Old Spice works for bass.
that
There you
was
go.
random.
That's it.
So I'm getting a
That
question.
was the secret. You weren't supposed to let that out.
I know. Now bass is out of the bag. So Android in my ear is going to have a question that I'm supposed to ask you to. Go ahead.
I'm trying to read Daryl's with my good eye here. Smallmouth in the bay come up black and then go red and then gold. All fish and crawdads do the same thing in the spring.
Okay. All right. So Android was saying because we were kind of all over the place with
Android.
he likes that Android. Yep. So he had a pretty good question. I think I know the answer, but I'm like the professionals answer it. So for somebody like you guys that fishes more regularly, right? If you're using your baits continuously, you just easily upgrade your plastics if you feel like they're losing the scent or some of their, their juice, right? Now, Android does not fish nearly as much. So at that point, is there proper tackle storage to keep the scent in the baits pure, or are you better off, like after, let's say you fish 3 times a year, just buying a new plastic every year then?
Well, Nick, from his conversation earlier, he stores his plastics in the bag. I think after a full day of use,
Yep.
you're probably going to throw that plastic out potentially. I don't know if you keep
Elastic.
the elastic. You can just, I guess, you could probably let it roll.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I'll fish. I don't, it all depends. Like I guess I will leave a plastic whatever I'm using the day before and I'll fish it. But you do probably have a lack of scent, or you need to reapply a scent.
Yeah, if I'm fishing a scented bait and if it's still good, it goes right back in the bag.
Okay.
So I think we're doing a nice job answering his question. I mean, some of these have the hard casings in here. Some of them, like the Berkeley stuff. Like Andy, with the Berkeley stuff, I'll actually throw, besides the Z-Man stuff, in with the Berkeley bag, right, to help give that Berkeley scent, that great scent. You can't do it with the Z-Man stuff because it'll melt every other plastic that's attached to it. So the Z-Man.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Power bait and Max scent, it's not actually plastic. Will it melt that?
Power bait?
Yeah. Power bait does have a lot of plastic plastic in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm saying like that'll like
90%
of our plastics.
He's saying you can't put elastic in like power bait.
I'm wondering, have you ever done that? Will it melt Max scent?
Sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, that was always
going to be a store science project. We're going to throw elastic in a Max scent and see what happens.
So what is it about the Max scent that you're saying is different than other stuff?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's a weird makeup. It's different than just about everything else on the market. So I don't know if it's actually it's almost like I don't know what the hell it is. I know the guys explained it.
Soft, salty chemical. I mean.
Yeah, it's like a.
What's the because
I don't know.
It's scent dispersing.
Savage, I know, has like a plastic very similar to the Z-Man stuff. What's the other company that we carry that has that super stretchy stuff? I can see the package. It's green.
Got it.
Nico also is something very, very stretchy.
We have one other brand too that's stretchy. That's like a mix, like not a pure Lastec, but it's a stretchy too. Anybody know? Nobody?
I said Savage.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I said Savage, and then I couldn't think of Nico, and it's Nico. So those are the three brands that I think we carry.
You love bass fishing, Matt.
I love I think Savage is an underrated product. I think that's one of those that people often overlook in our store. Sure. I like their stuff. I mean, between like their Ned Gobies and I think their Goby stuff, they're damn realistic looking as well. Price comparison on Savage to like some of the Berkeley stuff, is it about the same?
It's pretty much right there.
Are they all the same? Because they have like what's their bluegill imitation? Like the
Savage 3D structure gill.
Yeah, because we have like the Dark Sleeper, and then Berkeley has the Agent E.
Yep.
And then Savage has I just bought some the other day, the bluegill, like the
structure gill. Yeah.
I think that's what it is, the structure gill.
3D structure gill.
Yeah, those are all great looking. I think Savage is. I don't think it gets enough credit. I think
it's just funny how popular that stuff is now. Like Storm Wild Eye has been pouring plastic around lead for 100 years.
Really?
Forever.
Oh yeah, and like
think about the old school Storm, like
stuff.
And I think it's the just the innovation with the different chemical makes up these plastics and the realism and the paint jobs. And
yes,
they've come a long ways. It's actually pretty cool to see everything over the years kind of change and
I forget about that
recycle.
Storm stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yep. Okay, now I got to get back on train of thought here. Where did we leave off? So we talked about what is the striking version of this? Is that the Rage Swimmer?
Menace.
The Menace?
It's pretty similar. Yeah.
Menace
That would be
Junior
another.
and Standard.
That would be another great, like the 3-inch version for the Mini Max. That would be another great.
Yep. And then, God darn, I can't think at all today. What is the minnow profile? Not the
Seiko, the Yamamoto Seiko, another popular trailer.
Then
it is. It's so
for a regular size. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much preference in the anglers, what they like, what they trailer. There's a lot of options.
Plus, we have a billion feet of Kitech.
What I'm interested is you were mentioning non-skirted chatterbaits earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like? Can't you just pull the skirt off and put a body on? Is that kind of what you're?
No, there's different blade styles too.
So like the Willow style.
Like the Willow, yep.
Okay. Thought they were trying to target the walleye guys with that more subtle vibration.
It's a
finesse
finesse
Is
stuff.
it? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we talked about before on this show. and we looked it up. I can't remember. What's the name of that one? The
I
Z-Man version without the skirt and the willow blade.
I do remember that. Is there ever an instance where you don't run a skirt on any of that? Your presentation is just a minnow style bait, or
you could
just a minnow scrub, or just a whatever you like?
I haven't done it, no.
Not really a thing.
I haven't done it, no.
I know that is on spinner baits. Like guys will remove the skirt and
just put a swim bait
Buzz
on
baits
it.
too, right?
Buzz baits, yep.
I think some of that stuff, buzz baits.
Buzz baits used to be all skirts, and now I don't know who came out with the first one. I know Dirty Jigs came out with one. Strike King came out with one. I don't know who copied who, but whatever.
Yeah, because Dirty's got the frog, right? You can put the frog on the back.
Frog.
You love that setup?
Mm-hmm.
That's one area.
I haven't fished a skirted blade or buzz bait in a long time.
So we're finding out Nick likes them without the
got
skirts.
some juice. Here it is.
Without them skirts.
If you want more juice, come on into the store and talk to Nick. We either got MPFL on the TV, the Dude Factor, or these guys are always running bass tournaments. What did BAS
Fishing was just on
Elite Series, all that
Zach
stuff.
Sadler.
Yeah, if there's a
Pro
tournament,
fishing,
if there's a live tournament on, it's on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Andrew wants to remind everybody that it is sundress season as well. We're talking about the skirts. It's sundress season. If it ever gets nice.
Not yet.
Not yet. What else? I see one. Yeah, keep going. What else we got here?
All right. So I did talk about earlier jig. You can use jig, flip a jig, 365 days a year. They're always going to be fish shallow flipping. And then this is one of my favorite colors in the spring. Obviously, it's another orange color. The Alabama Craw Mad Heron flipping jig. And I'll put either Max Scent or if you really want to be subtle, those guys too.
Well, you got to explain.
What do you got there?
Hold it up a little
I'm
longer.
learning.
Explain.
You can't give away all your secrets.
I can't give
Never
them
gonna
all
win
away.
another tournament again.
Come on,
give them all
dollar
away.
bill.
But yeah,
I heard angling's on. What's
yeah, the little
morning.
The little general is just a Ned bait. Works great for subtle jig presentations. It's just got one little.
Ooh, that's really popular, right? Meow.
Yeah, so
Popular setup.
that's a good setup. But yeah, a lot of Ned baits. Obviously, Z-Man has the mushrooms.
We both grabbed the same pack of heads. We might as well talk about those because that's what you're in.
Oh, we will. Yeah, we will.
You're not running those.
Get there.
You're running those on your Neds, aren't
Swim
you?
baits.
I'm liking and I'm a looking and I'm a liking. Keep talking.
So Ned baits.
Keep flowing.
Obviously,
Matt Heron.
the little general pretty much took over. I mean, Z-Man are still an awesome bait. You can catch a million fish with it. But that power bait Max Scent is just deadly, hands down. They got some phenomenal spring colors, like this one here. That's the watermelon copper orange red, and this is the copper chartreuse. So both bright colors, gets the smallmouth attention, and they crush it. They kill it.
I got a trivia. Jig brand.
No.
What is our best selling jig brand that we carry? Is it the Dirty product? I mean,
Believe
we
so.
have so many jigs as well.
We sell a lot of Dirty Jigs. We do sell a lot of Striking, and we do sell a lot of DNL, which is it's a value brand.
Yeah.
That's the cheaper jig. Yep.
Yep. So I mean,
I guess it just depends on where your money is at, right? Like, if
well,
you're
so
winning
what you're
derbs
gonna
like
get?
Nick, you're
Nick
fishing.
can
In
tell
my
you.
opinion, Dirty's got the best color combination skirt.
And what else? Like, what else separates a $3.50 jig versus a $6 jig?
Obviously, the quality of hook.
What does Dirty use?
I'm not sure, but it's a pretty dang
I
good
think
hook.
don't quote me, but I think he's using a Gamakatsu. Might even say right on the packaging. Right on the front left corner.
Yeah,
top.
it's made.
Oh yeah, Gamo.
It's a Gamakatsu, but I'm not sure
Which hook it is.
Hook
Yeah.
it is.
But premium skirts, tight skirts
Premium
instead of rubber,
skirts.
paint jobs, better quality head finishes. So that, I mean, you're banging that stuff off rocks all day,
Yeah,
right?
and his bluegill pattern is insane too.
Yeah, like Daryl too, like tied skirts instead of rubber.
Yep.
I mean, the way they're tied. You know,
And then, like Nick said, blended skirts. Like, you can buy run of the mill generic skirt colors, or these guys, they use 8 strands of this and 12 strands to try to match the hatch or blend just a unique color combination.
Did we just add a new company too? Do we have Dem Jigs? too?
Dem jigs,
Yep.
yep. Yeah, we've had actually Dem for a little while. I think
We've had
Kyle's
Dem?
we've had Dem for a minute, yeah.
Them.
Kyle has been, I think, working with the owner to try to expand the selection a little bit. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's just another one. It's just a monster assortment. Again, that
you're blowing up over there. You want to check that?
No, I'm good.
you
Vibrating.
gotta go change your tire.
No. Yeah.
That's
You heard about that, huh?
Well, I was here yesterday, or no, it wasn't the day before. You had to go.
Yeah, Amy blew a tire, so I had to
Oh,
leave
because you were
early.
sitting in your office. I was running the printers when he came back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was up front too. He said he had to go help fix a tire. Just I want to go back to. I have a killer way to set up a chatterbait with a Z-craw or a beaver.
Yep.
Can you
Those
share
work,
that
too.
information?
You should. And then
Tightrope jigs. There's just another brand. I mean,
there's
many?
so much.
There's so many
jig
trails.
brands out there.
Unbelievable.
Pretty much any cross tile, flipping bait or whatever you can put on the back of your bait jig.
Same
For a
trailers a
trailer.
lot of times.
Yep.
Do you ever put glue on your
I
trailers?
never put glue on.
You sniff it.
Never.
I know that, Justin. But do you?
I don't. I'm a big scent guy, and it's gotta be. I don't
as
know.
pristine as it definitely can be.
Yeah.
Do you like those garlic flavored Sharpie markers? Do you ever mess around with those?
No.
Smell great.
They do smell really good.
Pure garlic.
Yeah, so like your pinchers on your craws or your beavers, do you ever like dip them or anything like that to give them a little different look or a little different scent?
Sometimes. I mean, a lot of baits come pre-dip now.
A lot of people do though, because we sell a
But yeah, we
Oh
Pile
my
of-
God.
yeah.
Spike It,
Spike it,
JJ's.
tons.
Orange chartreuse.
Yep.
Big.
And they even make a clear just if you want no color, but you want
Want
the
the scent.
stank.
Mm-hmm.
Dip it in the clear.
So I was fishing with Lance Kozik. I think I told Justin this, but I'll tell you this. And we took a dark sleeper
Yeah.
and literally just dropped it in a Spike It. I think it was like a more of the clear ones,
Yeah.
the dark sleeper, and we dropped it, and I think it was in pink or orange, and the whole bait just went chartreuse because of the other colors that were in it.
Yeah.
First cast caught bass on it though.
Nice.
What up? So that's just like this is something fun to play with.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing too, you got to be careful with some of that stuff, especially the jars, is just don't spill them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's gonna be a mess.
That's why people like the markers and some
Yep.
of the spray stuff too, sprayed over the side of the boat.
Yep.
Just so you don't spill that stuff in your boat because it stains forever. If you ever want to,
Diggs, you can't. You're not. I don't think you're getting the smell. You have to stop by and get one of our neat ozone products for hunting.
yeah,
That might help.
if you ever want an interesting story, talk to Ty Cornell on the floor about a jar of dip Spike It or what is it? What is it? The jar stuff?
Get magic. JJ's
Yeah,
magic.
yeah.
JJ's
I
magic.
talked to him about it. He'll tell you an interesting story. He had to
Dip and
replace
dye.
something in his house because he spilled the jar.
Oh jeez.
It's a good story.
What's up,
Be
Alec?
sideways. Oh, I do know that trick. Sideways. So the paddles kick this way instead
Mount
of this way.
Zekra or Beaver sideways. Oh, so basically,
It's like this, like fins.
yep,
This way.
like this.
Mm. Yep.
Like this.
This way. So yeah. So like your paddle would kick this way when they're retrieved instead of kicking this way.
Right.
I think that's how a lot of people rig that Zaco.
That's the Zaco.
The
yeah.
Zaco,
I mean,
Zaco.
that's-
That's
that
the
profile.
minnow style too, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Again, you ask 100 bass anglers, you will get 100 different answers, and my bait is great and yours is crap. That is the industry. It's why it is what it is. There's
It's confident.
it's confidence. Yep.
What line rod reel combination? Since we're back, we're still chatterbaiting it up a little
Sure.
bit. What are you throwing? What's your chatterbait setup?
On
Don't
the-
say St. Croix.
On the mini.
We're done.
Let's see if you can name a different rod brand that we carry that's not a Croix.
Why?
I'm just messing
Dubbins.
around. I want to see.
I mean,
Duck
know.
it.
There's so many though.
Dobbins is the next best thing. They're a great rod.
Mm-hmm. What's your line
Sell
setup
a lot
then?
of those. So on the Minimax, I'm running a 14-pound fluorocarbon. It's gonna be the Assassin, better casting. It's super nice. And then the rod and reel, I'm throwing it on a Zeta 7-1 Abu Garcia, and then I'm throwing it with a medium heavy moderate Victory. It's got a super soft tip that lets him eat it, and it's got an amazing backbone for those.
Mm-hmm.
I also throw the buzz bait on that rod too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Do you crank
Swim
with
bait?
that rod, or do you have a separate
you
crank?
can. Yep. You can power crank with it. It's a nice cranking rod too. Super soft tip. With that moderate tip, it loads up really nice and keeps them pinned.
They do. The chatterbait bite is something fun. Like all of a sudden, them blades
They
stop.
kill it.
Yeah, when
Just
there's
kill
no
it.
vibration, it's either you're on a fish or you're on a weed, and you just snap it, and then you're like, oh nope, that's a fish. There's sometimes they just slackline you, but then they just because that's the thing. Like when we were talking about those on TRS Live, David Height, right? Is that the guy?
Davey Height, yep.
Davey Height. That's the one helped
Brett
create.
Height.
Yeah, those guys helped create that for Z-Man. And he said a lot of times people forget about, because a bass comes up behind it and opens their mouth, the blades will stop because they're sucking it in.
Yep.
Right? So they'll be like, oh, what the heck? It's not. And they'll jerk it to try to get it to fire up, to kind of start it again, and you're missing bites that way.
Yes.
So that's where that rod comes into play for those situations.
Yep. It loads it, gives them it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's why you want a good high-end, good quality rod for that sensitivity too.
Yep.
You try to do that, and I hate to pick on ugly sticks, but
Right.
you're going to have your success rate will change.
Yeah. What length did you say you throw?
7.2.
7.2.
Yep. It's perfect all around size. You can get it in tight places, and you can still make a good cast with it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely a preference in line diameters. Maybe you can touch on that a little bit, because I was setting up a chatterbait rod, so I asked a bunch of bass fishermen, and I got anything from, why don't you run 12-pound fluoro up to 20-pound fluoro? So
Right.
I mean,
thicker diameter will kill more of the action, but
and it's
I
depth
mean,
too, right? It's running depth.
a little bit.
So what line diameter creates more drag should ride higher in the water
Right,
column, I would
yeah.
think generally. I don't know how significant, and it's probably as insignificant as taking the split ring off the front of your crankbait, but sometimes the little things are what separates first from 10th.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sometimes it doesn't matter.
And I think 20-pound gives off more vibration than 12, obviously. In the water, it can turn them off, but not.
Could be
know.
visibility just by
Visibility.
line diameter.
But fluorocarbon's all clear, but I like to be as subtle as possible for smallmouth.
Will you ever throw a chatterbait on braid?
Yes. I run my bigger chatterbaits through grass on braid because it pulls out of the grass way better.
Yeah, okay. It
Yeah.
cuts the grass.
Yeah, I
too.
use a 40-pound braid for my regular chatterbaits and grass.
Okay.
That's for
Nice.
your green ones?
For the green ones,
For
yep.
the green ones.
For the green ones.
Real quick, if you could be on one smallmouth bite with one technique, what would it be? Go.
Drop shot. And
There it is. Fun facts. We're learning some
That
stuff.
is fun. Now, here's a fun fact too. He prefers mono on his chatterbaits. Daryl does.
that is to give it as
Daryl's.
well. If you're running not a moderate rod, you would want mono because it
For the
gives it
stretch?
for the stretch. Yeah.
Is that why you do it, Daryl, or what's the reason you like mono on your chatterbaits? And like, are you still throwing mono on the mini max, like the smaller ones as well? That's great. I like Daryl's really intrigued. Be fun if the Facebook guys would fire us some information too.
Daryl is this.
Daryl Kuble.
Got it.
But
Learning.
yeah,
Just trying
mono
to
would
learn.
suck in the weeds if you were ripping it out of the weeds because it would just I can't get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a soft rod and then a soft line, and then you just don't
That
have any
wouldn't work.
power.
And then you're donating.
You don't
all
have
our
any
chatterbaits.
snap.
Yeah, but I could see it going for smallmouth.
So he says I run a 7.3 heavy fast
Yeah,
as well.
so a
for-
regular like jig rod. So that's why you would want that mono.
Mhm.
If you have a moderate rod, that's not necessary.
Nice. So we were into the Ned stuff. You were kind of getting into that, and then like with the jigs, right? You were saying you put was that a net on a jig? Did you say
You could, yeah.
you could if you were so inclined, right?
Yeah, right.
What other Ned stuff did you bring over here for us to look at?
Oh, that's pretty much it for
What
the
about the
Neds.
heads?
So the next thing I wanted to talk about was small swim baits because, like I said, the emerald shiners are just blowing up and they're keying on putting the feedback on those tiny emerald shiners. And nothing copies it better than an electric shad, Tech 3-inch.
That's a real small one.
Yep.
Holy man.
And then in the spring, I like to use bright heads too. So what I had Greg do from my club, from Angler's Amble, was make a bunch of screw heads up for the small swim baits. So we got chartreuse and red, my favorite springtime colors, really grabs their attention.
Okay.
I noticed that one doesn't have a tag on the back.
So, all right, so we'll stay with the
Gonna
swim
have to
baits,
check 'em.
and you let me know what they're, then I'll bring the jigs up as well.
But if you're looking for durability and a power bait scent,
It's the shine, I think.
that power bait swimmer, you can catch literally 100 fish on it. It's insane. Same profile. Not as good as colors as Kitech, because Kitech has a million beautiful colors, but they will catch more.
But Kitech's soft.
more
Like
fish, yeah.
one or two fish, you're
Right.
replacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-3 fish on the Kitech, 100 fish on the power bait swimmer, same action, but the Kitech has a little bit better colors.
But that's why you worked with Greg on developing that screw lock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not new to the industry by any stretch, but
No, yep.
it when you run
Yep.
soft plastic, you'll get 10 times the life out of a screw lock keeper versus just a standard
Correct.
wire keeper or lead keeper.
Correct,
So it
yep.
helps save you money.
It's
Yeah.
not working? All right, well, these are, so check them out online, right, at therealshot.com too.
Yeah, or stop in and come and talk to me.
Talk to Nick. And then these are the Angler's Ammo. These are the screw
Yep,
locks.
brand
Okay.
new.
These are on website too already?
Probably not.
Those just showed up.
Just showed
what,
up.
2 days ago. You built that end
Okay.
cap.
And then are you going, like, what's the hook in these? Is this like a softer hook?
It's a sharp hook.
It's a
Super sharp?
Yeah.
Super sharp.
finesse hook. It's not going to be a big, bulky hook because it's a finesse profile. You want a thinner wire hook to just drive it in there, just with a sweep hook set. You don't want to drive it home.
And you're not fishing that on a 7.3 heavy
No, you're
fast.
What's the rod set up for
You're
this?
fishing light.
no.
light.
I'm gonna fish either a 7.3 medium light or a 7.10 with my hair jig rod.
Are you braid to floral then, or are you
Yeah,
just straight
yep.
floral?
So what I brought here is the Sunline. This is the X Plasma. Super amazing casting. I use usually the 8 or the 10 pound to a 6 pound fluorocarbon leader. And then I'm going to run probably at least 6 to 8 foot of leader for the sniper.
Are these more, are smallies you're targeting with that, or are you?
Yeah, I mean, largemouth won't be shy
Mm-hmm.
if they're up in the shallow cruising with the smallmouth, but
Right.
smallmouth particularly. So, just a small minnow profile, and that's what time of this time of year there's a bunch of them.
Well, that 2A Kitech, I mean, I'm a firm believer that you could probably fish that all year and you would not have a bad season. For walleyes, smallies.
Just a swim bait in general.
Just a swim bait in general. It is
Yeah.
such a fish catching program. It's unbelievable.
It really is. And in multiple different ways too. Retrieve, hop,
Yep.
drag, all different styles.
Well, that was a huge part of the walleye stuff that, Mike and I talked about a couple weeks ago. Just catches everything.
It does. It really does. And like that size too would probably catch you a lot of like crappies and perch, things like that. Probably even some bigger gills too. I mean, there's some good looking
The gills,
stuff.
that's a stretch. They got small, they're
Well, you could do your what's your favorite swim bait in the world? The Berkeley.
the ripple shad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I had to pick a ripple shad over a Kitech, I would definitely pick the Kitech. Like ripple shad has I feel like it's a little smaller window that I like to
Stiffer,
use
too.
it. It's definitely stiffer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, is it all the Guggen is on sale in the store?
All the Guggen on sale. We have massive. I don't know how many different body styles we have. I just grabbed 3. I think there's 10 different
so you got
body
the
styles.
6-inch lunker logs.
So regular price on the Guggen in store, I believe $5.99. Right now we have it by what is it? Is it 3 for $11?
3 for 11, yeah.
3 for $11.
Nice. That's
So,
a really good deal.
Yeah, you're saving.
There's nothing wrong with it.
So that
No,
6
we
at
just got
3, so
plentiful.
18. You're saving $7 on 3 bags. So that's a huge savings.
Do you ever fish that rattling craw?
No.
No.
Rattling Ned though you fished, right?
I have fished it.
I don't mind the rattling.
Yeah, the
Ned.
Rattling Ned's actually pretty popular. So is it a Kraken craw? What
This
else?
is the Kraken craw. That's
The-
why I asked. I mean, this is a really popular one,
It's a
but
great
the
jig
rumor
trailer.
has it the Rattle Ned won the spring open.
Okay.
the with that rattle Ned, that chamber is in the back, kind of like how it is in the Ned, right? So how does that affect hooking it? I wonder. I haven't really played with it.
It doesn't, because the hook shouldn't come
No.
anywhere near the back end of
Nope.
it. So there's a molded
tail.
chamber with a little glass rattle in the back.
Yep.
Unlike like the Maxent, actually this is one of the only rattling Neds style baits that I know of.
Right.
Now you can buy, and we sell them, little aftermarket glass rattles if you want to slide it into any bait, just to impart a little bit more noise or whatever you're trying to do. But
I like the lunker logs because they sink a little bit faster than some of the other brands, and I think that's
Maxent's the same.
yeah.
They
I
sink-
think that's that.
Think well. The
The Generals, right?
Yamamatos.
I don't think the General sunk very well.
No, the General's a slower fall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real slow.
For-
so
Berkeley.
probably an application for both, I would think. But generally speaking, I think you bass guys want a little quicker fall rate. You want heavily.
Yeah, it
more
depends on
salted.
the time of year, but yeah.
Okay.
I wish we had more of the 5-inch. Every time I found a 5-inch, I bought it.
Did you? Yeah. We have like 12 feet of Senko style baits.
I know, but I
Rodney
really do-
Horizons, grab a Yamamoto, throw that baby on.
I know, but like for the price that we had them at and that 5-inch, and I caught a really nice bass one time on a lunker, so I was just kind of like, that's for whatever reason.
It's probably
For me, I can't stand the smell.
Really?
Is it one of the most fished styles for bass in the country? Is this Senko?
Senko, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I think more bass are caught on that presentation,
Oh, yeah.
wacky
So-
rigging it
Easy
or
to fish.
otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, so Andy, right? Andy's getting into the fishing world. We told Andy, and I even told my dad.
Android.
Yeah, Android. I even told my dad, I go, Dad, just wacky rig a Senko and you'll catch bass every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, my dad is like one of those guys. He taught me how to fish, but now that he's older, he's just kind of like shoreline pounding it. I'm like, still throw a freaking wacky rig Senko, and you'll.
Do you run the O-ring and the tool and the
So I run the
prolong
new VMC.
crossover?
I love
crossover.
that thing.
That thing is amazing.
Is money, dude.
Yep.
Yep, because
So tell us the difference between the old ring and the crossover
so
ring.
a ring you have to hook it in horizontally, and that fish is going to be horizontal all the way back to the boat. If the fish eats it like this, it has a chance of slipping out of the corner of the mouth, and it's not going to get pegged.
So traditional style O-ring is literally just a rubber ring.
Yep.
Rubber
A
ring
small, thin
around,
rubber
and then
ring.
you have to put it under that ring, and that presentation, that hook is going to be horizontal. Where the crossover, you can slip it in the horizontal or the vertical presentation, and I hook it in the vertical presentation for wacky because it's going to get in the beak of the nose
Yep.
every time.
So Andy asked me, he's like, what the heck is wacky rigging? So what you do, Andy, is like we're talking, you put an O-ring halfway up the body. Well, it doesn't have to be halfway, but typically
There's a ring
it is.
Yep.
picture on the back.
Is there?
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
for
guys.
wacky, you should put it directly in the middle.
And then it like when the hook would go, like Nick is trying to explain, will go through the middle of the body, and you don't always need a ring, but it just
Well,
Right.
it saves you money.
Saves
'cause
saves you money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one hook's that not into mouth, you don't have a plastic.
Yeah, you
anymore.
don't.
Right.
And then it's almost like it gives it wings, like it flaps.
Yep.
And then
It
when
just
that bait
pulses.
shimmies down.
And then shimmies down, yeah.
hmm And then the other style too that I really became a big fan of is Nico.
Right.
And that's where that crossover, those bands from the crossover, like Nick is saying, you can wacky rig them or you can Nico rig them.
Or you can, the original Texas rig is how that was actually fished, I think, before wacky became cool.
On the
Dragging it
on the
through
Senko, you're saying?
But you can Texas
Well,
rig
there's so
anything.
many
Yeah,
different
yeah,
ways.
Yeah.
Bet you could Texas rig a piece of celery and throw it under a dock. You probably get bit.
You think so?
I'm gonna try it. I've been thinking about
Do
it for
it.
years.
Well, there's no
Maybe I've seen like licorice. You could Texas rig a
Oh, yeah,
wacky rig a piece of.
100%.
You probably done it.
100%.
Gummy
Like the
worm.
Gummy worms.
Gummy
Licorice
worms.
rope.
Gummy worms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Licorice rope.
Oh,
Anything in that
That's just a waste of licorice.
pencil shaped nothingness. Could
So there's
be,
actually a couple candy challenges on YouTube. You can look. One of Jacob Wheeler and DC did, and MDJ did one where they fished nothing but candy for fish.
and they caught fish.
And they caught them. They caught them.
Gummy
Fish are-
worms.
fish
Yeah,
are
like
so
Daryl's
dumb.
saying gummy worms.
It's one of my daughter's favorite videos. Can we watch the gummy video?
Well, what
Yeah.
just what
Well,
a
think about it.
waste
You
of
got
gummies.
bait and a snack.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna find a gummy worm vendor.
On that day, you'd catch more mats than you would bass.
Yeah?
I'd just be pillaging your.
Well, if I saw you in my bag of gummies,
Yeah.
get ready, pow!
Tiptoe side hook here. Let's see. So a good selection here. We have a ton of stuff.
Flatworms sale. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah.
Flatworms out there?
You
Tell me
said you
about
like
it.
drop
They're
shot, bro.
all $3 off. So
What is
from
normal on
$8.99 to $5.99.
Is what normal is?
Yep, MSRP is $8.99. I think we were selling them in store for $7.99, but we got a sale price at $5.99.
Yep.
Which is like 2 years ago, you couldn't find a bag. It was the most popular piece of fishing product in the entire industry. And now we have a lot, and we're giving you a great price.
And that's online as well.
That is in store and online both. And I also suggest getting one of those Tacticams.
Yeah.
Oh, the cell cameras.
Look
Look at that. I got a Tom. Jess, I told you I should have been hunting. I got a Tom right now.
Right in front of your
right
camera.
in front of the camera.
Yeah,
Oh
midday
my
movie.
God.
And
right
I'm in season.
Okay, so not only
Look at
are
that. Look at that guy.
You could have been dead, but you're here.
I know.
yeah, not only are the Googans on sale
work to live,
online and
son.
in store, but so are the Berkeley flatworms. What is this? Let's talk about that because that stuff's popular right now.
So I just grabbed this. I don't know, it's something new that Kyle brought in. Bass Mafia came out with a swim bait. It's called the Dangerous Swim Bait. It's like a hollow belly cord.
Because Zaldine's with them now.
Yeah, it's a 2-pack 6-inch swim bait.
Yep, they just copied Mega Bass.
$13.99. Yeah, that's what the industry does. I mean,
Yeah.
you find a proven bait style, you want to add it to your arsenal, you find somebody to build you a proto, and you get it in production. Done.
Is that?
Yeah.
Are the other brands 2-packs as well, or is that just what makes us such
Mega
a?
Bass does have a 2-pack.
They have a 2-pack as well.
2-pack unrigged, and they have a single mag draft 6-inch rigged.
Yep.
So
How do you? Let's talk about rigging. How do you rig these things?
you could anywhere you want.
Yep, you could do a
I like
line
to-
through.
I like
you
to
could
nose hook
do-
You drop shot that?
Yeah, drop shot a big old swim bait.
You nose hook it, drop shot it. You get bit.
You'd get bit.
Put a piece of candy on there for some
You fish
flavor.
these for muskies?
Maybe
Is that another?
early season. Yeah, early season small baits typically. So yeah, I got a lot of swim baits.
With the line
Not like
through,
they work.
you have to put a straw through them, or is
You
there?
would have to, yeah.
Okay.
So we also 6 cents. We have the new. I should have grabbed one of those, and I was going to. It is a screw locked head line through. Basically, it's a weight system designed to run. If you want to run like a treble or something, I think it's actually for running a treble hook system versus like a big EWG or a big weighted EWG or.
Yeah.
Gives you that other option. But it's a chunk of lead shaped like a fish with a screw lock, just like that's on those jigs to keep it pinned to the plastic. And you run your line through and you tie on a treble or and
Whatever you're doing.
wherever you want to position it. So just another way to fish a swim bait. There's so many different rigging options for different applications.
Well, we also have the EWGs with the blades on them.
Yep.
I mean, we have so many. I think it's
Yep.
another
You
another
can turn
world.
it into an underspin. Yeah,
Yeah,
do whatever
just
you
so
want.
many different things for so many different ways of fishing, whether it's bass or walleye or whatever the heck you're targeting. We have a ton of stuff. Berkeley, did they not just release a big swim bait too?
It's not released yet, but they're sure pushing the hell out of it.
Yeah, they
The
are, 'cause-
Berkeley Cull Shad.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Supposedly, a lot of guys are liking that over
Oh, yeah.
the what's the one you
Yeah.
mentioned, the Mega Bass, right?
Right. I mean, it's scented, obviously, too, so it'll leave a scent trail with that power bait's scent. So.
But I think so. I heard the rumor I heard is that the hook, the way the hook is on that one is better than it doesn't come loose as much as
Is that a pre-rigged?
Yeah. Yep.
So like the mag drafts in a
Yep.
yeah,
sense?
that's the one I'm thinking of, the Mag Draft.
Yeah, it's gonna be money.
Because the Mag Draft is one that skips really, really well, though, right? For a dock fishing and stuff like that. Did I hear correctly? I've never fished one
I
of
could
those
see
things.
you could skip them.
What are you throwing? What's your rod reel setup for that and your line setup
Well, that you're gonna use like a 7.4 to 7.10 heavy.
in your line?
Probably like a 18 to 20 pound fluorocarbon.
Okay. Nice. And there's so many different ways to fish that, right? Is it just like a slow retrieve, a jerk, or
Right. Yeah.
yeah?
I'll throw it on a medium heavy 8 foot with 80-pound braid, 60-pound fluorocarbon leader, Then I'll run a Gamakatsu 3/8 ounce 7/0 weighted EWG for early spring fish. And bass eat it too. It's kind of fun.
So when you are targeting muskies, do you catch bass that way?
You do. You don't catch as many, but the ones you catch are usually large.
Large.
Because you're throwing typically big baits most of the year.
Yeah, a lot of rubber at them.
But I don't know. I'm still new to the sport. I got a lot to learn about
Which sport?
About the musk.
Musk.
About everything. I don't know. As anglers,
fun
we're
part about
always learning and growing and trying and adapting. And I mean, it's an ever changing sport.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes it fun. Trying stuff new. Try new stuff.
Again, I think with today's show, as we talked about spring bass, and it just like the assortment that the Real Shot carries just doesn't stop, and it always improves, and it's always.
We could talk spring bass for a week.
And not even cover like half.
Carry all the products we have in there.
Because our buyers are fishermen, and they're like, "Ooh, shiny new object. I'll bring that in."
Makes sense.
Then you get rid of the old
like
shiny
we've talked
object
about before too. We've listened to the customers, like like Darrow was saying that was it tight lines or something, tight rope jigs or whatever. I mean, that's the things. Like if you bring it in and you guys think it's something cool, we might add it to the assortment. It's just there's so many different products. We can't have everything, but we try.
Yeah.
We freaking try to have everything.
It's only so much space, so.
Yep.
We'd have to build a bigger store then. So again, we have a ton of stuff. Was there one thing in this assortment that we missed, or do you think we kind of covered?
We got everything on the table, yeah.
Yep. It's all on the table.
All on the table.
When does the top water stuff start?
Post spawn, probably like 67, 68 degrees.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that show too.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be a different episode on a different day.
Hopefully it's sooner than later because this cold crap is not cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk some top water. There's no better bite out there than a top water blowout.
Nope.
It's fun.
It is fun. Anything else, fellas? Any other cool stuff happen in the store before we wrap this one up? I don't even have my phone, so I don't know how long we've been talking.
It is 10:05.
Nice. So right on cue like normal. Nothing else cool? What else? Anything else? Turkey decoy still on sale?
Turkey decoys are still on sale, 30% off. We had HS Strut, Avian X,
and that's like
Flextone. Is that the other one, Nick? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at
not
that.
Flextone.
You got, what is it? Help me out. You're the turkey gurgler.
Continue talking. Maybe it is Flextone.
So we have box calls, slate calls, diaphragm calls. Pretty much what you need to kill a turkey.
And the thing about it is Mike did it right this year. Everything's on sale way before the season started. So we're only into week 2. There's still 4 other seasons left.
Yep.
Yep.
And but the decoy one, I think like selections are getting pretty slim.
No, the back stock was filled as of 2 days ago. That rack is full. And if I don't know, a lot of people, if you haven't looked at new turkey decoys in a while, just to come in and see the fit and finishes of some of these paint jobs, they're amazing. I mean, these
so lifelike.
It's basically artist quality.
That's what they're derived
on a turkey shaped canvas. It's kind of neat.
What you got right now?
I got right now.
When's yours?
My next one's 4th season.
Oh, you killed one already?
Nope.
You had first?
Yeah, I had first, and it was not good.
Oof.
I didn't have time.
Yeah.
I'm not a diehard turkey. Matt, we know, everybody knows you have like every season, multiple tags.
I got
a turkey tattoo on your lower back, right?
You want to see it?
I've seen it already.
It's a Tom with his neck out going gobble, gobble, gobble. No, I got Skunk Wednesday, but I don't know. I drove by one of my properties. There was some jakes out there. Hey, that's what we were talking about before we went live. Okay, we're going to kind of switch this up a little bit. Will you shoot a jake?
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm not over it either. Like I'll pound a jake if I have to.
It's the old adage like deer hunting, right? Don't pass on the first day what you'd shoot on the last. So I don't know. We were talking about like, and there are people that, attempt to try to harvest a large bird. But if you have a property, you don't have a ton of birds on it. I don't know. Small ones taste better anyway.
Yeah. Oh, especially if you're going to smoke them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Turkey nugs. Ooh, God, I'm excited. We should probably wrap this up so we can go turkey hunt, Justin.
I know.
You should probably go scoot and shoot that one.
I should.
Yeah, let's go reap it.
Scooting and shooting.
We probably have some camera gear. I'll go crawl in the mud with you, and if you blast that sucker in the face.
Yeah, there's typically a lot of birds out there.
Let's go. Late midday like this too. That's perfect reaping time.
Banker's hours.
Mhm.
So do it.
All right. Well, cool, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for TRS Live, the podcast. Again, if you have any questions, you can call Nick or Justin, or you can stop into the store. Why don't you tell them where they can find all that stuff, fellas?
1919 East Calumet.
You're mic'd. 750-6140. Area code's 920 on that. Yeah, did you already hit on the www.therealshot.com?
You just did.
Open 24 hours a day, all the fine tackle available at any time.
Yep. And then our socials are The Real Shot on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that great stuff as well.
Yep, we'd love
And
to see you.
in the
Stop
Tickety
in.
Talk. All right. See you later.
Hey guys.
Thank you.